Running a Fever, Episode 24, Southern Breakfast.
Welcome to the cooking segment of the show. How to make a Southern breakfast. A lot of people, when they think of Southern breakfast, they think of grits. We do not have grits in my household. Maybe other people have grits. We did not have grits, and I don't feel that I missed out in any way. So you take your skillet and you put it on the stove and start warming it up. And you reach in your fridge and you get your jar or cup or some other container that is partially full of bacon grease from your previous breakfast. And you deal out a healthy portion of that into the frying pan. Of course, if you are not that frugal, you can always substitute Crisco, which goes into some other baking products and such. But I kind of think it's called shortening because it shortens the time it takes to prepare your meal. I don't know. But bacon grease is always preferable. And then once that's all melted and heating up, then you put your meat in there. Sausage is good. Bacon is excellent. Country ham is good, and even bologna sometimes. So you cook that until that is severely brown. Is not really black, would be more, browning meat is really more blackening meat. Not blackening in the Louisiana cuisine sense, but just plain black. And so you got that, and you go and you sort of drain and cool that on paper towels, and you take that out when it's done, when it's nice and black, and then you put your eggs in there. Now you can prepare eggs in about, someone could do a whole podcast on the preparation of eggs alone. It could just be the egg recipe podcast or whatever. Because you got scrambled, over easy, over well, wrecked, country, poached, boiled. I mean, there's just no end to how you can prepare an egg. There's hard-boiled, soft-boiled, deviled. My preference for breakfast is what I call country scrambled, which is you let it fry for a little bit like you're going to have a, over easy or over well, and then you scramble it. So you don't scramble it from the beginning so it's even and consistent. You scramble it having left it on the stove for a few seconds so there's remnants of what some people call this a wrecked egg. Now, why am I having a cooking section of the show today? I've never had one before. There's no reason to have one, it seems, but there is, because it describes what I had for breakfast today and what I did this morning to prepare my breakfast. I've been wanting to get more protein in my breakfast and start the day with an adequate supply of protein in my system. I do believe there are healthier ways to do this, and I want to find a better recipe that's also tasty enough. But you know what? My breakfast this morning was tasty and full of protein. 1 egg and 2 pieces of sausage. It was delicious. Had a very light lunch, meal replacement shake. Mainly because I was working, had kind of a big project today, and I also went in earlier today, so started the day earlier. Had some errands to run after work, so I actually got out of work early because I came in early, and I didn't really take a lunch break. But I had some errands to run, and now it's going to be definitely a dark run because it's already after 5 and I haven't even reached the course. And I forgot my light. Fortunately, I left it in the car. I just checked the passenger seat and there it is. Really fortunate. Maybe I should just leave it all the time in here. So anyway, that concludes the cooking segment of the show for this time. Looks like we got about 5 cars in the parking lot. I don't know why I want to park the closest to the trail. It's probably the same reason that I don't want to go out of my way to get to a water fountain. It just makes no sense at all. I'm out here to get exercise and to walk and run. Pre-run, 20 ounces of water, becoming a cyclops. Putting on the, it's kind of cool today. Got my hood up, no gloves or hat. Got my hood up. Definitely cooler than yesterday. I think the high was going to be in the low 40s. Clear sky, but it's not going to matter much. The sun is already gone completely, pretty much. Just a glow in the distant sky. And I'm just starting out. Things went pretty good yesterday, so I'll try to stand up straighter today. Sucking my gut. I don't do that much anymore. I'm hoping it'll help my back. I want to be running bent over. So, yeah, so I think I'm gonna do my running on the dam. And even though it's often more crowded than other parts of the course, it seemed to work well. I'll be should be pretty warm by then. And it's nice and straight and level. Again, kind of trying to survive. Trying to not have a day when I slack and don't go as far as I did the day before. That's kind of disappointing. Yeah, definitely should have thought out my wardrobe more carefully this evening. There's a group of disc golfers. Kind of expect them to have like glow-in-the-dark frisbees or something on our night, this late in the day or evening. They look pretty regular. Still enough light for them. You can see the discs. A bunch of them here and getting pretty close. Makes me think maybe they're using me as a target. But I think I'm almost out of range, so not too much to worry about. Yeah, it's starting to warm up now, but hands are still cold. I wanted to kind of do a retraction, I guess, or explanation. It's been a few episodes ago, but I was talking about weight loss and my reason for wanting to lose weight. And I was trying to explain that it wasn't really looks. And I said something like, I'm 51, how good am I going to look? Well, I just want to say that there are plenty of attractive people out there in their 50s and 60s and higher. But I was just referring to myself. And actually, I really do think I would look better. It's definitely not the main reason. There are a lot of good things about being a healthy weight that are not directly health related. For example, today one of my errands was to try to find new pair of jeans, and I mean, they had my size in some styles, but not the one that I wanted. So clothes fitting better, just generally feeling better. The exercise helps, because if I can, if I can move 260 plus pounds, 2.5 miles, if I could bounce up and down when I'm running for half a mile, yeah, it's going to have an effect on my daily life. Feeling good a half mile in. It's probably the shortest half mile of the course. Probably because I never run it. Of course, what I could do is just walk up to that point and then run back. Go the other direction or come back. I should try that. But anyway, I kind of like that section of the course. Maybe because I'm starting out with all the energy of not being that tired yet, having more energy when I start. And at the end, I'm looking forward to the end and resting. And that's when I'm on that section of the course. Makes you wonder about middle age. The middle part of the course, maybe that's the hardest part of life. Life is just hard in general. It's difficult. And I believe that's true for everybody. A little brighter than it was on that turn. I took there's a guy at work who posts pictures of various scenes in nature, castles and bridges, as picturesque sites that he calls the moment of Zen. Something to take us out of our everyday views and surroundings. I like it. I really do. Look forward to that in my mailbox. So I took one of my beautiful pictures from the dam of the lake at sunset, which I just realized I'm always looking at these sunset scenes now. And so I called that the local Zen moment, and posted in the company Yammer group. And it's a bunch of geese, a gaggle of geese. I don't know if you can hear them right across the street. Evening. I always try to greet people when they're walking. It's kind of part of being a southern gentleman. I try to do that. Not so much when people are running, although some people are more attentive when they're running than others. I'm not very attentive at all. As you know, I can hardly count. Often I don't want to do anything but try to get through the run. It's getting dark enough that I can just about see the light on the path ahead of me. But I can see it fairly well without the light, so I will keep it on the low beam for now. All right, coming up. I'm turning around, coming up on the intersection of the driveway to the marina. Not far beyond that is the starting gate, the half-mile marker. Already starting to feel a little fatigue in my legs. Still trying to stay straight up, but I'm feeling it in my back too. All right, I'm gonna stretch out a little bit. Gates are closed. Safe to cross. There's a parking lot. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go high beam. Yeah. Because I am gonna be going faster when I run. Not much faster. Some people walk faster than I run. Hands are still cold. All right, here we go. Okay. Full half mile. Feel pretty good. Yeah. I don't really want to say that this run was easier. Physically, I have to admit, it probably was. I mean, you can tell when you're running out. You know, I start to feel it like poison in my bloodstream. Of course, you know, I always say it's a mental thing. So I tried to motivate myself during the run. If I can't motivate myself, at least maybe I can be distracted in some way by just trying to think about something else. I guess it depends on the person. The kind of things you choose to think about in such situations. Where's the situation in your life when you're used to handling challenges? And you always handle them. Maybe not perfectly, but you always handle them. Maybe when dealing with family members, children, with challenges at work, be they personality-based or task-based. Sometimes you have to think through those problems. I know I do. Time that you have when you're running, the max stretch of that half mile, or maybe just getting to that halfway point where you don't give up on your children or your family. You don't give up on your job so easily. So, why would you give up running? And by then, 3/4 done. It'd be a shame to quit when you're 3/4 done. It would seem like you kind of wasted that part that you did accomplish. I'm warm now. Still got a little chill in my hands, but hood's off. Sleeves are up. Posture, good so far. But I didn't really feel the kind of physical exhaustion that I did yesterday and days before. Not extremely cold today, but sufficiently cold to give me confidence that I may just survive this winter with my exercise program intact. Now that's achievement. That's like regular old life achievement. getting through and handling the obstacles that come in front of you. Maybe you're not that kind of person. Maybe you just need to be distracted. Maybe thinking about other challenges in your life. Maybe you exercise just to get away from those. Maybe you want to break from the challenges, from thinking about all that stuff. Uphill now, but still trying to keep my back straight. So in that case, you may want to think about something pleasant. Lying on a beach, letting the sun warm you, especially during the winter. Or walking through a forest in the crisp autumn air. Sitting by the fire with a cup of hot chocolate. Or being with people you love. There's no end to what you can fantasize about. Eating at a nice restaurant. Fine cuisine, your favorite foods. With your favorite people. If you're religious, maybe sitting in a sacred place. Could be your own church. Or some holy place thousands of miles away. You might be just thinking about the last half mile of the workout. You know, I talked about how pleasant that was. But however we do it, I think it's important to control, at least try to direct that mental activity. So otherwise, I can be taken by surprise and I start thinking about, well, you know, the other day I didn't quite make it. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal if I didn't make it today. And I split it up a bunch of times, so if I just go a quarter mile, I can maybe pick up a quarter mile later on. Those are thoughts ready to jump in my head at any moment. If I don't have a plan, they're going to win. And like I said, this running thing is hard. Sometimes it's hard physically, sometimes it's hard mentally. The dog was interested in me running with its master. But you know, when it's coming at you in the dark and it's looking right at you and you got a light on your head, those eyes just glow in the dark. It looks really evil. But it's just a curious dog. You see those in you see that type of scene in horror movies sometimes, a lot of times. TV. And the fear is really in the unknown. I think that's what most fear is based on. The unknown or imagined. You just see the eyes, you don't know if he's foaming at the mouth, or if he's got blood dripping from his jaws, or if it's just a happy dog coming to lick your face. All right, here's the quarter mile point that I missed yesterday. One and a quarter mile. About a quarter mile from the end of the journey for me today. You know, I think I never finished my physical well-being report. The last few days I haven't really been getting 10,000 steps, and I'm not sure why. Because I'm running and walking the same distance. Must have to do with the other parts of my life. I did do some running around today. And so, according to my theory, that should affect my level of pain and the type of pain that I experience, whether I experience that nerve pain or not, which I haven't so far yet today. So that's good. You know, this Back pain may indicate that I'm doing some work with my back and maybe it's strengthening. I didn't pregame with any Advil today, and I still feel about the same as yesterday. Me and I can't see who it is, but there's some women that come out here at night, and it's great if it's safe enough, but I certainly understand when they wouldn't want to show a lot of friendliness towards strangers. It's probably a good policy. So my weight has not changed a whole lot the last few days. I don't usually try to say that I don't say that I'm losing weight until it's at least 10 pounds. Because for one thing, I could gain or lose 5 pounds in a day easily. It happens, probably as much as 6 or maybe even more. Another thing is I'm over 250 pounds. You know, if I lost 5 pounds, well, that's less than 2%. 10 pounds, 4%. And I need to lose 20 to 25% of my body weight. So, 10 pounds, more like something to talk about. Well, I kind of opened the box of my blood pressure machine, and I took out the machine, which is in a case, and I haven't opened the case yet. Gradual. It's my craziness, do everything gradually. All right, crossing the road into the parking lot. Another workout complete. Except for the drinking and the cool down. In the drive home.
You're listening to the Padua Podcasts Network, PaduaMedia.com.